the property and the property details in itself. One of the things that I look at when I'm evaluating a deal on property is obviously, what was the comparable value or comparative relative to other acquisitions for that same acreage. So give us the details on what was appealing on this. I know you look at tons of opportunities out there.
Yeah.
What made you pull the trigger on this?
Yeah. So, Seguin, again, one thing that my company is constantly trying to do is figure out where are the builders moving, right? You don't want to be buying behind the trend, especially in this business. So we're always trying to figure out, okay, well, where's their next market that they want to build in? Because where that's at is where we'll get the best prices on our land. So these 80 acres are coming in at a total of, I believe, $4.7 million, right? So what we're seeing in the market when it's prime location, the cost per acre is around $85,000. So we're in this one for $65,000 all in per acre. We feel that's a pretty good discount for what it should be. And the property itself will produce 380 single family lots, right? So that's about a 24-month window for us to get in. So total 3 years because we do engineering and entitlements, but the actual work itself and the selling of lots is about 2 years, right? To sell all those lots. The lots themselves will sell for about $80,000 a piece to builders. And the way that you figure that out generally is what's the anticipated home price? Well, we think homes that the builders will build here will be in the $350,000 to $400,000 range. So typically lot prices are 20% of that. So it's right in that ballpark of around $80,000 per lot, which is where we need to play. The land itself, it's very attractive in terms of the big oak trees that are on the land. It's a nice flat parcel. It's tons of road frontage. There's a massive sewer line and water line right in front of the property. So in general, it's a really ideal property from location, from what we think will be a fairly straightforward and easy construction process. And again, it's prime for the selling to builders.
I love that. So let me ask you this. When you look at the comparables of what a finished home might look like, which obviously factors into what you're going to, sell to the builders, and when they're evaluating it, what type of home prices are you going to be seeing in that and price per square foot that is going to be attractive to the builders as well?
Yeah, so it's a great question. And what we do as well is before we buy land, we say, well, what else is sold in the area for new homes, right? And there's a community a mile or two away. I think
is that Arroyo Ranch?
I think that might be it, but there's another one too. Home prices are selling in the low 3s to mid 3s fairly easily. There's a few anomalies that are selling in the 4s. We are confident that our comps in the $350,000 to $4,000 range, especially in 12 to 18 months, given that just yesterday, I think it was Bank of America came out with a 10% appreciation rate for the year. Might have been Chase at 15%. So even with interest rates, they're still predicting appreciation. But take that away for a second, we still think that our price points are right in line with prices of today. So that's how we found the comps. What that means for the kind of home, expect 1,200 to 1,600 square feet, right? Maybe we get up to 2,000 on some of the 2-story builds. We'll see. That's on the builders to decide. Still, today's market, we think builders are building in the 140 to 150 per square foot range. So if you do the math there, they try to make 18 to 25% margins. So that all lines up exactly with our price points and what we think will be $350,000 to $4,000 on the homes.
That's perfect. That's exactly what I want to see. One of the things I always look at is the overall market from a real estate perspective, because ultimately as investors of the deal here, and we really haven't got into that. We're really talking more about, the makeup of the deal rather than just selling the promise of the actual investment. I always like to, really kind of educate our listeners and educate myself before we kind of blur any type of analysis by really attractive investment returns, which this does. But ultimately, your project hinges on a builder coming in and purchasing the lots. That's it, right? So it has to be attractive enough for you guys also to make a profit on the development and getting these builder ready. And then for a builder to have the opportunity, and that's why I always like to do the market analysis, because if the market is dynamic and the numbers of the acquisition for you make sense, then we hope that translates into a builder coming in and either doing the full takedown, or you've got a couple of builders. Very similar to the deal that we did in Lockhart.